Hey guys, it's Mo with Coldwell Banker. I have the pleasure of interviewing Stacey Salyer from Washington. You have two different industries that you're in, real estate and property management. Are they both the same name?
No, different names. Yeah.
Tell me about the real estate side.
So real estate side, I'm with Weichert Realtors. So I'm part of a franchise, independently owned. So I'm Weichert Realtors Edge Home Sales. And my property management, I run not under Weichert, I'm Leading Edge Property Management.
So for those of you who are not aware, in the state of Oregon, you're not able to practice real estate and property management at the same time. In Washington, it's a different story. And I was able to get connected with Stacey through, she was a client of mine, a friend, and this is my client's niece. And she shared how, how much your presence on the internet and the technology that you use and the virtual sales. And so I was very intrigued because right now, you guys are ahead of us regarding the COVID-19, but this is something that you already do anyways. So first, let's tell me about yourself. Tell me about you.
Sure. Yeah.
Minus the real estate and the property management stuff.
Sure. Yeah. So I've been in real estate. This is going on year 16, which is kind of hard to believe. I can't believe it's been that long. So I've been through, I think, quite a bit as far as, changes and evolution and housing crash and all that good stuff. I have 3 kids. They're pretty much all teenagers. Well, the youngest is 12, but 12 going on 25. And those of you that have girls will understand that.
Not even just girls.
Right, I know, yeah. I love to work. I work a lot. I'm the owner broker of my firm, so that's pretty much what I do. And in spare time, I attend my kids' activities, sporting events, and my oldest is actually a gaming competitor. So he actually is a Fortnite gamer. So he actually makes money gaming.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. So we used to do travel baseball, but now he pretty much does that in his room. But we did get to go to Anaheim and do an in-person event. So that was cool.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite part about real estate is being able to be at the kids' sporting events and be available to go to field trips and things like that. I believe that minus the fact that we're helping people achieve the American dream, is being able to spend that time with my family and have the resources to be able to pay for those things. So so thank you for sharing that part. And you've actually answered the first question that I have, which is how long you've been in the industry. Tell me what you have done to help your clients virtually during this time, because right now we have to take extra precautions to make sure that everybody's safe, but also at the same time provide excellent customer service. So tell me about that, the things that you're doing.
Yeah, so I opened my own brokerage about 4 years ago. And so when I originally opened, my whole concept was to be as virtual as possible. Mostly, for my lifestyle. Like I wanted to be able to, travel on weekends to baseball tournaments, or for example, I took my boys to Florida one spring break and I was able to work remote. And then also for customer service. So being able to, showcase homes or be able to get clients in front of more homes, maybe without having to travel all day and go see them in person, or being able to at least maybe go through 15 videos and then decide, oh, I want to see those top 3 or whatever. So video, of course, is number one. So I think, from an agent standpoint, it's really important to have a really good online presence. Super simple to start with Facebook. I would just say start with one platform and then build out from there. I think a lot of times people get a little overwhelmed thinking, oh my gosh, I need to be on Facebook, I need to be on Insta. Now people are telling me I need to do TikTok videos, or, I need to be on LinkedIn and all this stuff.
Yeah, TikTok.
I actually read that recently where some people are like, oh, TikTok is the new platform. I'm like, all right, well, maybe. And I will actually say my 16-year-old, that's the gamer, he actually told me, he's like, Mom, you need to actually start doing some TikToks. He goes, I actually follow a lot of people and they do some like little snippets, I guess, of, yeah, some like, hey, this is, what I'm an expert in. And then they link it to their YouTube and stuff. So
yeah, that makes sense because that's the age range of a lot of the newer home buyers that are coming in the market. So that would make sense to use that platform. So
yeah. So I haven't ventured out to that yet.
I don't think I'm on that level yet, but we have quite a few more, much more time in quarantine. So we'll see.
Right. So yeah, and then YouTube, of course, is really important. So if I was to pick two to start with, I would choose Facebook and YouTube because you can link, the two pretty easy. And, Facebook has some great built-in platforms for video. I mean, I'm sure you've done live video, and you can do live video with your business page, and then you can share it to personal and vice versa, whatever. I definitely recommend to all agents to have their own business page, actually professional business page, and market that. And then, so that's, of course, just your basic video, like homemade type video, right? And then moving into kind of more the professional. So we have pretty good team players, I guess, vendors, whatever you want to call them. So our photographer will, for additional fee, as part of the package, make a really nice marketing video with like music and, all that kind of good stuff. The overlay is, as far as like master bedroom, it'll lay. So we do that. And then Matterport, I know a lot of agents use that, or it's becoming more popular. It can be pretty spendy to buy your own Matterport. So we use a couple companies locally that will go in and make those for us.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's I've heard of it, but not really clicked on any links to check it out, and until you sent it to me, and so I was able to. Matterport, what it does is it takes the home that you're selling and it breaks it up room by room, but like a 3D image. And so is that a good way to explain it?
Yeah, it's almost like you're standing in the home, really. Like you can kind of, I use the word twirl, I guess. You can kind of like twirl around or move around. And
like
you
can 360.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's other things out there. On our property management side, we have a less expensive 360 option. Just because the margins are a little bit different when it comes to the business part of it. And that's a Theta camera that we use for that. So we can actually, in my office, the agents can check that out and go make their own 360 video. But I think, in today's market, even before the whole COVID thing, I think more people are wanting video. I think a lot of people are shopping more on the internet. I think that's probably fair to say no matter what market you're in. Right. People love looking at homes. People love to talk about real estate. So it's not uncommon for someone to, just spend the evening like clicking through. And I think, video is definitely the way to go as far as like marketing yourself as well. So if you're not doing video, definitely would want to start. And I would definitely start with, getting more comfortable being on video, like whether it's setting up Zoom calls with friends and just practicing, or just like going for it. I love doing the live videos because then I don't have to go back and watch them. No. I just do one and I'm like, well, whatever happened, happened. So
we're with you, girl. I I click on the video just to make sure that the audio portion of it is fine,
Right.
afterwards. But after that, I really like stuff just flies out of my mouth sometimes, and I'm like, okay, well, that's that.
Yeah. And so then kind of going back to what we did. So with here in Washington, it's been a whirlwind. We initially, I mean, it's only been, I think, like 7 days, maybe 6 days since we had the whole stay home, stay healthy order. But it's been changing every day. So initially, real estate was not considered essential. So we all were basically shut down from showing and all that kind of good stuff. And then it changed 2 days later to real estate sales could go show, but not property management. And then yesterday it was just all lifted. So both property management and sales can now go show and home with very, very specific rules and precautions.
Sure.
However, with that being said, I still think this is where video definitely should play into your business model, because how great would it be to be able to say, hey, go look at these, 10 listings on video. If they're Matterport, that's even more fabulous.
Sure.
And let's pick your top 2 or 3 because of safety precautions. And, I just not really a big fan of being out at this point in time for anybody's safety. And let's go view those and go from there. So I kind of did something different with one of my sales listings right before, and I need to get the edited version, but I just kind of made I had a local guy, and he's a videographer. That's what he actually does for work. And so I actually did an actual like formal walkthrough with me talking, and the dogs even came and jumped on me. And so we'll see how that turns out. But I think whatever you can do just, to help your client, and then also in turn, it can also help your business too, because then people start recognizing like, oh, there's that, agent, this is what they're doing.
Yeah. Do you find, I just took my first listing appointment virtually, and I've also had some buyers that I've been working with since this has started. And what I found for me is that, the interview process of getting to know their wants and their needs it's always been important, but I feel like right now, just to listen to them and hear what they're needing, and when they're sending you the listings to go view, that you can go into the MLS and say, okay, you told me that you wanted this, like maybe yard size. You told me you wanted a really big size yard, and this lot size is not going to be what you need. We really, this is going to be on the list that we don't go see, because it's not worth risking, right? Not worth exposing the seller to anything that we may have, and it's not worth getting exposed to anything in the seller's house. So with that, listening is super important, and not that we weren't doing it before, but I think right now, I think I am more, I don't know if brave is a word, but I can say no.
Right.
I can say, oh, I don't think that's a good choice, and have confidence in that piece, where before I'm like, oh, second guessing. Right now I'm like, no, absolutely not. And so I think that's the great thing that has happened. If I can choose things that are good about what's happening right now, I think that's one of them. So then leading to the next question. So COVID-19, how it's changed how you conduct real estate, not even, not as far as the virtual side, but even taking listing appointments, securing those deals. How are you doing that?
Yeah, so that definitely has changed a little bit. So on the sales side, I honestly never would have really pictured like doing a listing appointment like through Google Hangouts or Zoom, to be honest. I mean, even though I love virtual and I'm super remote type, like, oh, we can work from anywhere. It's just one of those things, like mentally, I'm like, well, no, I want to go meet the people in person and, do that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But no, I've definitely changed my mindset on that. And it's kind of funny because on the property management side, we've always done that. So it's never kind of been a thing. I don't know why.
Take applications over the phone, or right, or they're.
Oh yeah, no, literally on our property management side, we are super virtual. Like we could, in theory,
probably don't even ever get to just by exchanging keys, right? Like, is that the first time you meet them?
For clients or for the tenants?
For tenants.
No, so tenants, we could move in a tenant and never meet them face to face.
Wow.
And on the client side, same thing. In fact, there's some clients I've yet to have ever met face to face.
Wow.
So it's kind of funny on that side. We've always kind of done it that way. It's never been a thing. It's always been like, oh, okay, well, you already live in Georgia, but you need your house rented. Oh, your neighbor has a key. Great, I'll grab the key and I'll just go walk through your house. Whereas the sales side, it's always been very traditional, and you do your listing appointment and meet them, Mr. and Mrs. Seller or whoever. And so I'm just kind of shifted our model a little bit to say, well, gosh, I mean, it's worked really well for the property management side. Why can't it work for the sales side?
Right.
So we're just kind of shifting our mindset a little bit. And I think, a lot of that has to do with just kind of the way it's always been. I don't think a lot of brokerages have done virtual appointments for sales, but I don't see why you can't. I mean, really. So.
Well, so I guess I'm not telling the truth, because I do have out-of-state clients that I haven't met. Like you said, they're out of state and they're wanting to purchase here. So I have conducted business that way. It's not something you do all the time. So it's, as a natural practice. And I think right now, if you're not able to be adjustable in our market and the way things are working, I mean, this is the way I see it. People still need to buy and sell.
Yep.
We still need to help people. That is our job, to help people. And, it's not, there's certain situations to where it's not this glamorous, oh, I'm buying my first time home. It's, I really need to sell this house because I'm, there's your life is going in different directions, or somebody has passed away. And so those are the types of transactions I see right now being, there's still going to be people that want to buy and sell during this time, but those transactions are what I see them will be the most of. And I think it's really important now more than ever to stay in front of our clients, reaching out to the people, that we service, and making sure, is everything okay with you? Not just like, can I buy, do you want to buy and sell? Not that kind of okay. Like, are you really okay? Is there anything I can do to help you? Because we do have to give more, right? And during this time, we do have to give more. At least the way that I run my business, I've always been that way, to just give more than what is required of me. And if you're not able to adjust right now to where our market is going, maybe there's certain people that should rethink why they're in real estate and if this is something that they should move forward with. But yeah, I don't see that we're going to go away, because there's still people out there that need to be helped.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's even like leading with compassion a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, I would say that I've always, focused on that. And one of my life mottos has always been, the only constant is change. So I'm thankful that I already have that mindset. And I'm really thankful that the people on my team, have that mindset. I'm really picky about who joins our team. I don't need the biggest. I just need the best, I guess. Compassionate and I think I was joking around earlier, I think it was last week, that I feel like I've pivoted so much just in the last like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never pivoted this much in my life. But
do you find that your life has prepared you for this time? Like the situations in your life, because you are so adjustable, they've prepared you for just this drastic change. I feel that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, since my business model has been virtual and remote, that has not been a problem. So I'm extremely thankful that I didn't also have a huge brick and mortar that I had to figure out how to take all this
Yeah.
paper and whatever the case, because right now in the state of Washington, we are not allowed to have our brokerages open. So we do have an office, but it is not allowed to be open to the public. Agents are not allowed to work in the office at all, period.
Wow.
The broker can go in and do, the bookkeeping. I've dropped off a check at the office and the agent could go in and grab it. That's fine. But you're not allowed to work in the office. You have to be working remote right now. And so I'm very thankful that that wasn't another layer that I had to figure out on top of that. And I'm very thankful that we already had the video thing all figured out, and then we have the technology thing all figured out. So really, it was just kind of making sure that our clients know, like, oh yeah, no, we're still here for you, definitely help you. I don't have to spend hours and hours researching how to do one task because we already have it down. So yeah.
No, that's good. That's good stuff. I think right now, EXP, I think is, their model of how they conduct business. They don't have brick and mortar. There's
Yep.
only a few, few companies, or I don't really know how they, because there's only allowed like one per section of the town, or I don't really know how it works with EXP 100%, but I know that there's not brick and mortar buildings everywhere.
Right.
We have one here in Grants Pass, and I believe there's two in Medford, in Oregon. And their system of how they already conduct business virtually, so it's kind of like they already are one step ahead as far as the brick and mortar part of owning a business and running real estate that way.
Mm-hmm.
But what isn't 100% well known is that virtual showing, they're happening, but it's not something that is 100% happening anywhere that I know of. So now we're shifting to this new era of real estate, and I'm excited for where we're going. And like I said earlier, the more that we can embrace the changes that are before us, the easier our time in helping people will be.
Oh yeah.
Is there, let's see, so we talked about apps. Is there any apps that you currently are using with your clients? Besides like for sending them listings, or do you still refer them to your website? How are you?
So in our MLS, we have, and I'm not sure how it works in Oregon, but in our MLS, we have basically like a portal, I guess would be the easiest way to say it. So yeah, that's been set up, and we've always used that. I mean, I suppose maybe some agents don't, but we've always set that up. So they basically, once we set up their search parameters, it'll just automatically send them their listings. Yeah, and go from there. So yeah, I've always been interested in the technology. I mean, I'm definitely not an expert, but I think it's fun. I think they're cool tools. And, I think, if people aren't used to them, now is definitely the time to learn them. And
I've been using this app. It's through our association. It's called HomeSpotter.
Yeah.
Do you have HomeSpotter?
Yeah, we have HomeSpotter and HomeSnap. We have the two different ones. I think it's HomeSnap. I think I use HomeSpotter more often. I always forget which one is which, but until I get it.
I like HomeSpotter because you can chat with your client inside the app, and so you're not losing conversation of, what houses you've sent them. But you can also, even if you're not wanting to chat through the app, you can send it through a text message or email, whatever, even on Facebook, you can send a whole bunch of ways through your phone. And so, yeah, I'm always interested in new things to try. Yeah, there's that one. Let's see. how are you keeping in contact with them? Is there, so we have like sending them listings, but are you doing a lot of Zoom meetings, or what are you doing?
Mostly just phone calls, to be honest. I don't, or text message. It kind of just depends on how they, usually that usually will just determine. So, I mean, before all this, we would always ask, what's your favorite form of communication? Because that's kind of always been my thing is, I may love texting, but they may not. Maybe they want a phone call.
I think we might be soul sisters, to be honest.
I think so.
What's that?
Yeah, I agree. I think so.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm the same way. At first, when I first started in real estate, I was so terrified to like actually pick up a phone and call somebody. And my mentor at the time was like, have you called them? I was like, well, I sent a text and an email, no response. Well, have you called them?
Right.
And so now it's like, I read this book about ninja real estate sales.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've been in the industry for about 4 years now. And I've never in my entire life read a sales book ever. It's just, I don't like being sold. And so why would I want to know how to sell something if I don't like being sold and I'm not a salesman? Like it was like this aversion to being a salesperson. And I see sales in a whole new different way after reading that book, because it really does talk about just building relationships and staying in contact with your people, and asking the forward questions, asking about their family, how their work is going, which right now is a very good darn question. Just ask people, how is work going, and just letting them know that you truly care about them. So yeah, that book talked about just building those relationships, and I recommend it to anybody that's in the industry, because it's similar to Brian Buffini. And I listened to Brian Buffini. I'm on his podcast, and I listened to his show, and he just has really great information. So leading to that, what are some books, or where do you get your inspiration from?
So little known fact, I'm horrible with, so I buy a ton of books, and I have like business books and, inspirational books or leadership books. And I start them and I get like halfway through, and then I'm like, oh, I move on to the next one.
Yeah.
So I'm horrible at finishing them, except for Brene Brown. She's by far my favorite. I love Brene Brown. I've read all of her books and I reread them. I've watched her Netflix special, I don't even know how many times, wherever I can find her inspiration, I love to read it.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like, just my philosophy is that, yes, I mean, I'm a salesperson and I love sales, but ultimately I actually just love helping people. So it's not, so I don't view sales as like, oh, what's it going to take to get you into this house today? That is so not me at all. I'm more like, I truly care. Like, well, tell me about your life. Like, what's your situation? Like, who are you? And, what do you like to do? Building that relationship, basically, like what you're talking about. And so, and then, of course, my job is also, I'm the owner broker. So not only, do I still sell, but I also, train and develop, and I'm really into, leading my team, leading by example, the leadership. So I just love her books. I cannot say enough.
Yeah, I'll have to check them out. The Greatest Salesman in the World by Ogmandino. That's a really good one too. It's a very old book, but it's a really good one as well. And I'm no longer afraid of the word salesman. I don't really care, because like I said before, we have something. If I have something to help somebody else, I'm going to share it. And it's not hey, go do this and buy this. It's not even about that. And like, hey, I have this amazing product, and I just want to share it.
Right.
So that's I think this shift in thinking I think is important, and especially now people are I think are going to be able to sniff out the people that are really genuine as far as the sales piece goes. Um, is there anything else that you wanted to add to our conversation? It's been like I could sit here and talk with you forever.
Oh, that's so sweet. I know it's fun. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm right there with you. I love sharing, in our industry, I love to share. I know, sometimes I'll see in like different real estate groups that, like, do you accept friend requests from other local agents? And my philosophy is yes, absolutely. I have a lot of my friends are agents and they're not in my brokerage, but I really feel like there's a lot of value. Like we can't all know everything and we can't all service every client. So yeah, I think sharing is really important. And, every time I talk with somebody else, I always learn something new. And I get more out of it, I think, than I actually give. So
yeah, when I first started, I had something called Real Estate Social Hour, and
fun.
I thought I was freaking nuts, especially here because it's like if you're from one brokerage, you really don't associate with another broker. I don't know. It's just really sometimes weird here. And so I had Real Estate Social Hour, and I invited lenders, I invited escrow, like anybody that would want to come that was in the industry, because like you said, it's important to build this relationship. And for me, knowing the person on the other side when you're in a transaction is so easy to like read between the lines of a text message, and you're like, oh, well, this, just assuming that it was coming out a negative way. But if you know somebody, you know what their intent is when they're sending a message. So that's the piece of getting connected with other realtors is important to me, because and then like you said, when I need help, I know who I can call for help. And sometimes it's not somebody in my brokerage. Sometimes it's like, hey, somebody that I've been with from day one that has helped me through things. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
Thankful for you for sharing that piece with me.
Yeah.
Anything else that you can think of that you want to share?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, but I mean, I can talk all day long. I am in sales and I am a real estate agent. I think that is the other. I guess if I would part with any words of wisdom, it's nothing really new. But since we all are, stay home, stay healthy, or whatever each state's calling it, is reach out to your friends. I've actually talked to probably more of my real estate friends, whether it's like Facebook Messenger, you can do that FaceTime or regular FaceTime or Zoom calls or Google Hangouts, whether it's, your team or your friends, like just, stay connected, especially for us that are kind of more extrovert type people. I'm the person that goes to the grocery store and like starts talking to someone in the checkout line, and now I can't do that. So, I'm just, reaching out to probably like one or two friends a day, just, hey, how are you doing? What's going on?
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's super important. 100% agree with you on that one. It's been really nice. So I feel like we should have like a second and third part, because we have some property management stuff that we can talk about. And then also we have how you're managing your team. So I feel like I would love to just set something up with you again, so we can talk about those things. And thank you so much for just being open to share your experiences. I'm hoping that as we share this video with our sphere, that we're able to help our industry, because we're needed. We're a needed piece to keep our economy going, to keep things going. And you know, I'm really thankful for people like you that are willing to share the wisdom to other people and not keep it for yourself. Thank you so much, and I look forward again to talking with you soon.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you for having me. We'll
Yeah.
talk soon.